I for some reason over the course of the last the sort of last week, one of the things I was doing to stay up late at night is I got watching doing a rewatch, or in some cases a first time watch of the Pink Panther movies.
Nice. In order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which they are very weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like both they're weird because they're sort of these silly comedies and stuff, but also just like from a filmmaking perspective, they're weird. Like they're not well made movies.
Oh, okay.
Like it's basically just like a series of vignettes of Peter Sellers being funny.
Right.
Which is great. But like as an actual like movie with a plot, it doesn't work.
Ah. I barely remember, I think, watching one time when I was in high school, and watching that and then watching The Party immediately after that. And I was like, The Party, I like, despite the whole, like, oh, it's Peter Sellers pretending to be an Indian guy. It's kind of like, this is maybe not ideal in terms of racial sensitivity or anything like that. But watching everything going on, I'm like, The Party is a bonkers idea. And just a crazy movie kind of all the way through, and you're like, what is happening? And just kind of slowly unravels the whole way, and you're like, this is a really wild thing to watch.
But like the Pink Panther, like it's it works really well. Like if you've ever seen, if they people post like clips and stuff on YouTube or whatever, right? And it works great in clips, right? Because there's all this really funny stuff. But you think that there's like more stuff around it.
Yeah.
But there isn't, like, really. Like, stuff will just sort of happen and then the scene will kind of fade out and there'll be and then they'll go to, like, the next scene and nothing will have been resolved. Or, like, the last one that I saw, which is, like, the third one, I think it's called, like, Revenge of the Pink Panther. I don't know.
It's, because it's, like, the Pink Panther, A Shot in the Dark, The Return, and then The Revenge?
Oh, yeah, so I think it's Return.
Okay.
The premise is he's going to... The Pink Panther diamond gets stolen again, and he's gonna go try to. He wants to, find the Phantom, who's the guy who stole it in the first movie, because he thinks that he stole it again. And so he goes to the Phantom's house, dressed in sort of a ludicrous disguise. And it's very funny. He's dressed as like he's pretending to be in disguise. Mm-hmm. They never actually say it, but it's clear that like his wife knows that he's actually Inspector Clouseau.
Okay.
And so she just messes with him and like sets up like fakes a phone call that like she's gonna meet up with somebody at this like ski resort.
Right.
And so like the entire movie, Clouseau is in the ski resort that she's in. He's trying to investigate her, and she's just like hanging out. And he gets into all sorts of hilarious kerfuffle.
Right.
Meanwhile, the actual movie is happening somewhere like in a completely different country, where the guy who's the Phantom is actually going to get the Pink Panther diamond.
All right.
And like they only barely intersect with each other.
Jeez.
Like it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, the bumbling detective bumbles into solving the crime. He doesn't solve the crime.
Great.
He just happens to be in the hotel at the same time that the crime gets solved.
Okay. All right.
But anyway,
wow.
It's but but then again, you put it together with all these funny little bits, right? You have like and you imagine like what these scenes like. There's a scene that's like he's trying to search her room, and so it starts. He comes in. He's dressed. He has a silly disguise on. And he's dressed as like a German. He's supposed to be like the German like butler or maid or
right.
the person, and he has a vacuum cleaner. He's gonna come in and vacuum the thing, and so he has a silly German accent that he's speaking with, and he comes in, and it's just like you can imagine the script is like Clouseau comes in with a large vacuum cleaner.
Period.
Things happen.
Yeah.
And
3 minutes.
And so it's like, yeah. And then, now we'll do, it's just like, you turn on the vacuum cleaner and then just mess around with, you try to do things get sucked up, he gets stuck in the vacuum cleaner, things get you can imagine all the different all the different beats of all the funny things you can do with a vacuum cleaner sucking things up.
Yeah.
And like that's it's hard to imagine that would even bother being scripted.
Well, it's so funny.
It's just such a brilliant, he's such a brilliant physical actor that it works out.
It's funny too, though, because like I was listening to Akiva Schaffer, who directed the new Naked Gun movie, talk about doing the movie and. Having a lot of respect for Zaz, right? That like whole Zucker Abrams Zucker, like having all the movies that they've made. It's like the kind of thing that you're walking in the footprints of. So it's like we're not rebooting the Naked Gun. We're just making another movie in the series kind of idea. But we know that what we have to do is we have to make an honest effort and we have to be true to what's going on and we have to make it funny and good. And I went and saw it and I laughed a fair bit. And I'm like, I didn't laugh like I was a 12-year-old laughing at the original Naked Gun, but I did laugh at the new one and I'm like, yeah, this is good. And I see the beats. And as an aficionado and a writer of comedy now, it's like I see the beats, I see the structure, I get what's going on. Surprised by some stuff that I was like, I didn't expect that. Okay, cool. And what got me is when he was talking about doing like, because you see gags and stuff in the movie. It's like we don't write a gag, we write a dozen gags. We write a dozen ways out of a scene, out of a line, like that kind of thing, which means that we have to get Liam Neeson has to deliver the punchline. He has to deliver 12 different punchlines appropriately to the camera, so we can use any or all of them if we want to.
And then they choose in post which one to actually use.
Yeah, they're like, which one do we think hits the hardest? It's going to be that one. Great, edit that one in. And that means there's a ton of stuff on the cutting room floor that are also really good gags that we're never going to see.
There's just like a whole alternate universe version that's the exact same story, but just all the one-liners are different.
Yeah, and it kind of blew my mind to think that it's like you sit down to write a spoof movie. He even said, you never write a spoof movie longer than 90 minutes. If you do, it will fail. Every good spoof movie is always less than 90 minutes. More than 80 minutes, but less than 90 minutes. And he says, if you can get right in that range, everyone's going to be very happy. You're going to get through your plot. All the stupid stuff's going to happen the way you want it to. And nobody's going to walk out of the theater feeling like they've had their time wasted.
I mean, that literally, what's it called? The Trail of Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Is literally after Peter Sellers died, they put together another movie with offcuts from the other movie. Jesus. And then they strung it together with somebody trying to interview people. And it was basically like a clip show, except the clips weren't actually the clips from the they were
from the new movie. It was also from the old movies.
But they weren't actually the exact clips from the old movies. They were different versions of those same scenes from the old movies.
So it is all new stuff then.
Sort of.
And it kind of makes
weird.
But that kind of thing makes me feel like it's like, oh, well, when they were rolling, I'm sure it was partially it was like, okay, Peter, go nuts. Mm-hmm. But part of it was probably also, we have about a dozen different ways this can go, Peter. How do you want to what do you want to do? How do you want to make this work? And then they film some of them and they reset, and they film some other ones and they reset, and they're like, great, whatever works in post, that's what we'll keep.
That's true. They can't do that much reset stuff because he often destroys.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, the other aspect that I really love about it, that I do really like, is that not only is he this bumbling detective guy, both sort of physically and by doing by making weird accusations and decisions and stuff.
Right.
And, falls over things and doing other things. But also just when he's around, the universe is weird. My favorite just throwaway gag is him going up to these people are getting away and he runs up to a taxi. He goes, follow that car! The guy gets out of the taxi and just runs off.
Oh, that's good. Nice.
And then 5 minutes later in a different scene, the car goes by and the guy runs past in the background. It's just Like it's a brilliant thing, but it, like makes no like that's not Clouseau being a dumb.
No.
That's actually just the world is weird.
Yeah.
When he's around.